People will often tell you that you need to be sharing content under every single social media platform under the sun every single day if you want to grow an audience. And look, I get it. It can feel overwhelming, and that's because it is. A lot of the time, the people who are telling you this either have a full team of 10 or they have the most incredible foolproof repurposing strategy. And I don't mean repurposing content like this, where you've just found a snippet of a long form video and turned it into a short one and just hoped that it goes viral. We are so past those days. I'm actually talking about a strategy which helps you turn this piece of content into all of this content. And in today's video, I'm going to be exposing this strategy. This video is sponsored by Riverside, and I'll be using their tools to show you how you can actually make this work. Now, when people create videos where they talk about repurposing your content, they usually talk about turning your long form videos into shorter clips. That is not going to be the only thing we focus on in today's video. In fact, I'm actually going to start the video by talking about how you can repurpose your short form content. So yes, I'm talking about videos like this on the screen, which you may think are one and done and can't be transformed into more content. You're wrong. They can, and let me show you how. In order for us to get started with repurposing, I need to introduce a tool to you. It's called Co-Creator, and it lives inside Riverside. So to use Co-Creator, you want to head to Riverside. There is a link in my description, by the way. You want to head to Riverside and open up one of your recordings. Now, the thing about Riverside is that you can either record your content using Riverside, and you can connect your camera in order to do so, or you can upload content that you've already filmed. The video that we're looking at here is a video that I've already filmed and uploaded into Riverside. As you'll see on the right-hand side of the screen, this chat function pops up. That is Co-Creator. It's essentially a chatbot that almost works as like your content team. It's like an employee for you, which will help you do a bunch of things like trim your content, repurpose your content, etc. This is the thing that we're going to be using primarily throughout today's video. So to set up your Co-Creator properly, I want you to click on the personalize button. Can you hear Mojo's pause? Because she's running around and it's like, I don't know how to get her to stop. Oh, she's behind me now, so I think we're fine. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is head into the personalization button, because this will allow you to set up your Co-Creator so that it understands you and your content, which basically just makes it more powerful, right? So you want to teach Co-Creator about yourself. I'm going to say that I'm a thought leader, which I'd like to think that I am. And once you do that, it's going to draft some information about what it thinks your tone of voice is. So it's pre-drafted some information about what a tone of voice of a thought leader should be. So it should be clear and confident, etc. I'm going to add in some additional information just to make it more relevant to me. Clear, confident, friendly, personable voice. Those are words that I like to use when I define my tone of voice, when I'm speaking to you guys, when I'm creating marketing material for my company. So I want to make sure that those keywords are added there as well, just to make sure that this is really set up to reflect me. Don't be scared to add your own keywords to that to make sure that it's really, really unique to you and your tone. If you go down, it's going to ask you what your show is about. Now, it's using the word show because a lot of content creators who produce podcasts and shows will use Riverside to do that. So essentially here, you want to talk about what your show, your channel, anything like that is actually about. So this is the downside of having one of these mics, is that now I need to go hands-free. There we go. Just gave my little spiel about what my channel is about. Now there's also a section here for you to add instructions, but we're going to leave that for now and we're just going to hit save. So now that you've set up your Co-Creator, we're ready to start repurposing content. The first strategy we're going to tackle is turning your short form content into carousels. This is a very timely tutorial because carousels are blowing up right now. They've been doing super well on TikTok for a while, but they're also doing really well on Instagram now. I would actually say that out of all my content, my carousels are probably outperforming anything else on Instagram. So carousels are here. Also, if you're just a YouTuber, you can upload carousels on your community tab, like they're just having their moment. So for a lot of people, you probably have a lot of short form content in your library, in your archives, that you can actually turn into carousels to make the most out of this blow up moment that they're having. Now, for you to do that quickly, all you want to do is upload a short clip onto your Riverside. Now, I have a bunch of short clips here already that I've created from my long form. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to click on the Co-Creator tool there. Look at that screenshot of my face. Not flattering. So we're going to write the prompt, find the most impactful quotes from this video and redraft them to work as standalone quotes for a carousel. So when you drop that into the Co-Creator, it's going to search through your short form video or your long form video, but for now we're doing short form, and it's going to actually pull out the best parts of your video that you can use for your carousel. So many of you have asked me in the past, like, how is it that I create these carousels? How do I find these quotes so quickly? This is how. It literally takes 2 seconds. Now, in terms of how I design them, I literally just take screenshots from the video themselves. You can even do this on a platform like Canva that I know a lot of people are familiar with, or you can use other platforms like Adobe Express or maybe even Pixar. Now let's turn this exact same video into another piece of content. Let's say a post for LinkedIn. I say LinkedIn because LinkedIn seems to be becoming the cool platform now. I'm actually working on a video that's literally titled, "Is LinkedIn Cool Now?" Spoiler alert, to a lot of people, yes. The thing about LinkedIn for a lot of creators is that it feels like a whole nother platform that requires a lot of additional brand new work, and the reward of posting consistently on LinkedIn doesn't quite feel as tangible or as valuable as the reward of posting consistently on other platforms. This process will help you post consistently on LinkedIn without creating a lot more work. So we're going to clear our co-creator chat and we're going to drop a new prompt in there. So the prompt that I wrote is create a friendly, personal, informal LinkedIn post using this video. And within about 4 seconds, maybe not even that, co-creator has done just that. It's drafted this entire LinkedIn post for me. It's about celebrating small wins, and it goes down to break down some of my tangible wins that I talk about in this video so that I can share them with my audience. Now, the thing to note here is that whatever it shares, you don't have to just run with it. You can actually provide feedback if you want to tailor it in some way. So let's say, for example, I want to make more friendly. It's going to redraft the entire post to make it more friendly as I requested. So you can continue to do this back and forth until you're really happy with the output. What you can then do is use that caption alongside that exact video and upload that as a LinkedIn post. The reason why this is a more powerful strategy for LinkedIn is because the caption means as much, if not more, than the post itself when it comes to LinkedIn. Even though it's evolving and it's trying to become more of a video platform, the caption really is still where the value lies. So by using co-creator, you can ensure that you can produce a caption that's relevant to the video and you can do it within seconds. All right, let's move on to talk about some ways that you could repurpose your long form content. Now, one of the most basic ways that you probably had in your mind when you clicked on this video would be turning your long form videos, like the video you're watching right now, into shorter snippets. Now, whilst this is still an effective strategy, you need to make sure you're doing this the right way, because it's no longer enough just to find one section of your long form video and share that as a reel or a TikTok or a short and hope that it performs. You now need to ensure that you're spending some time in post-production to make sure that that clip is actually valuable on its own. The reason why just chopping up your long form video doesn't work as a repurposing strategy anymore is because there was a time where AI tools flooded the market, which allowed you to cut up your long form video very, very quickly and very, very easily and just repurpose it, right? Because those tools flooded the market, it meant that everyone started doing that and people got bored of those clips very, very quickly. So what should we be doing instead? Well, let me show you. I'm going to head into my Riverside and then I'm going to open up the original long form video file for this video. So here we go. Here it is. I'm going to open up the editing window, and again, you guessed it, I'm going to use co-creator. This time, I'm going to get it to create some magic clips for me. And actually, that's one of the suggestions that pop up already. So I'm just going to hit magic clip. And what magic clips are essentially the best parts of your videos cut down into short form content. The process doesn't stop there. So in order for us to make this actually a good piece of content by itself, we're then going to click on the editing button and it's going to open it up into its own editing screen. What we can do from here is enhance this video to make sure that it's powerful enough to stand on its own. So small things you want to consider here is the first few seconds of the video. So for this one, the first few seconds sound like...
I talk about this a lot in some of my planning videos.
So if you heard that, the first few seconds of the video, I say, I talk about this a lot in some of my planning videos. Guys, that's not a hook. I think we all know that that is not a strong enough hook to survive in this current content landscape. So instead, I'm going to cut out the first few words, which are here, and I'm going to do that just by editing the transcript, which makes it so easy to edit using Riverside. And now the video is going to start with the words, I really believe in celebrating the small wins. To make this even more impactful, I'm going to get rid of the word really. So now it's just going to say, I believe in celebrating the small wins. That's a significantly more impactful start to the video than what was previously being used. What I would then do is go through this video or go through the transcript and continue to edit it to increase the pacing. What you'll find is that when you film longer videos like this, you'll often use a lot more filler words than you do in your short form content because you have more time. But when it comes to repurposing this into your short form, you actually have to make sure that you get rid of those words and keep the pace up. A very easy way that you can do this is by using the Riverside AI tools. So I've already used some of these tools, but what you can do is remove the pauses in between your words, which really helps with pacing. Remove all the filler words, so you can just do this by clicking that option. You don't have to worry about doing it by hand, right? You can also use this tool called Find Fluff. And basically what this does is find the parts of your video where you're just like yapping and it removes it for you just to keep it really concise and clear, right? So those are some great tools that you can use to keep the pacing of your short form video up. You're also going to want to add some of the trimmings that your average short form video has nowadays. For example, captions, automatically generated. You can find the style that you like. Let's go with this one, nice and simple. You can add it to your short form video and you can fully customize it, whether it's the style, the font, the size, how many lines the caption takes up, the color, like literally you can edit every single part of it. And then you can even take it one step further by doing things like adding videos or photos in between your content. So let's say, for example, I talk about a headline around this part of the video, and this is the headline that I'm talking about. I can actually add this to the content itself. It could pop up on the screen and I can determine how long it's on the screen for. So you can utilize these tools to create a short form piece of content that is powerful by itself, not just a snippet of your long form, but a valuable short form video. Let's move on to the next way that you can repurpose your long form content. And this way is one of my favorite. You can repurpose your long form videos into to newsletters or blog posts. This one I think is going to be of interest to a lot of you because a lot of people are joining platforms like Substack now, where the main content format is long form blog posts or newsletters, whatever you want to call them. So what you want to do in order to create a Substack post, for example, in a way that's super efficient, is to head into your long form video. Here it is. Click on co-creator and drop in this prompt. And here we go. In just a few moments, it's drafted an entire Substack article for me, as you can see here. So as I mentioned previously, you want to provide feedback to your co-creator so that it ends up with the perfect result. So I might want to feedback and say, update title. And just like that, it's going to update my title. And just so you can see, I'm going to scroll down so you can actually see how long and how detailed of an article is actually written for me. The beautiful thing about using tools like this to produce Substack articles or newsletters or blog posts is that the end result is still going to reflect you, your views, and how you speak, because its source material is your content. It's not the same as you just going onto another chatbot and saying, write a newsletter article about my goals. No hate to anyone who does that. I don't think it's the most effective way to use AI. I think the most effective way to use AI is to speed up the process and not to create the output. And this is the perfect example of you doing that. Last but not least, and I'm excited to share this final way of repurposing with you, because if you know me well, you know that I like to save some of my favorite, most unique tips to the end of the video as a bit of a thank you for sticking with me for as long as you have. This one, I don't hear anyone talking about. You can repurpose your long form YouTube content into a podcast in literally a couple of clicks. It's going to feel so obvious when I explain this to you, but it's all made possible using Riverside. And you know why I'm so excited to share this is because I reckon a lot of you will start a podcast off the back of me telling you this information. A lot of long form YouTube video content is perfect for podcast listening. That's why a lot of podcasts live on YouTube. The two formats go hand in hand. But for a lot of us, we don't repurpose it into a podcast because we think it requires loads more work, or we think it requires a brand new recording. It doesn't. What you can actually do on Riverside is click on the share button, change the file type to audio, change the audio quality to MP3. That's my personal favorite audio format. Didn't realize I had a favorite until now, but here we go. And then I want you to select these two options. So there's normalize your audio levels. Okay. This again is just going to enhance the quality of your audio. And then you want to remove background noise, right? So this is going to take your audio to the next level, which is very important because we're about to turn this into an audio only format, right? Even if you use the microphone, I still recommend turning on those settings. And then you just click export audio only. You can either continue to edit or go to your exports, whatever works for you. By following those very few simple steps, you will be able to export high quality audio from your YouTube video, which you can then upload as a podcast. And the beautiful thing about podcasts is that the uploading process is actually super easy. I used to use Spotify for podcasters when I had my podcast, and literally all you have to do is upload the audio and give it a title, schedule it to go live. It's nowhere near as complex of a process to upload a podcast episode than a YouTube video or an Instagram video or anything like that. Trust me. I will put links to Spotify for podcasters and any other resources that I mentioned in this video in the description bar. So hopefully by now you've realized that repurposing is not just about cutting up a video and sharing the clip. It's actually far deeper than that and far more powerful. If you haven't started Riverside yet, I recommend heading to the link in my description and using my code jade.beason to get 15% off when you upgrade your plan. If you feel like hanging around, I recommend watching this video. It is a deep dive into the question, is short form content dead? I promise you this video is a very important video to watch if you plan on sharing any content this year or beyond. Thank you so much for watching as always. I can't wait to see you in my next video.